Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media, and tonight's video I want to review Mindhunter Season 1 in 4K Dolby Vision. This is a Netflix show that I was super pumped to watch, so I'm going to go over the show itself in detail, the picture quality, and if it's worth the watch. Let's get to it. So Mindhunter is a 4K Dolby Vision title that is on Netflix, and this revolves around basically how serial killers were defined. So at the time this takes place, they were called sequence killers, but really they weren't even called sequence killers yet. This is defined in the show, and that's not a spoiler at all. What this is how they came about with behavioral psychology and how they applied it to criminology. And I found the show to be great. If you're a fan of Law and Order SVU, if you're a fan of Criminal Minds, any of those kind of shows where you know you're figuring out a case, a whodunit kind of case, and very complicated cases, this show is definitely going to be for you. This is directed by David Fincher, one of my favorite directors by far, the man behind Seven, the man behind Fight Club. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing behind the camera, and it really shows with the cinematography here. Every episode is just nice. It ends with a punch. The directing here is great. The writing here is great. This is a show that I hope gets renewed, and I'm sure will. It's getting a lot of buzz right now, and the topic itself is just very interesting. Even if you're not into like Law and Order SVU, even if you find that maybe like a little too brutal, I know some people, you know, don't want to watch that every week. This is not really as brutal, but more or less the understanding of the mind and how it relates to killers and psychology and how to kind of track their path to catch them before it happened, and how we learn to do that. And it is a very interesting show, highly recommended. It's going to be on my top 5 favorite Netflix shows by far. Now let's get to the picture quality. Now this was shot on a Red Weapon, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Now this is a 4K digital intermediate. As far as I can tell, I'm not 100% sure on that. I cannot get that confirmed, but it looks like a 4K digital intermediate. It is crisp and clear. The detail here is impeccable. So I don't have a TV to actually watch it on without 4K, but I do have a TV that doesn't have Dolby Vision, so I compared those two, and the Dolby Vision does add a nice wide color spectrum to this. The colors are more defined, there's more nuances in the color, and you could just overall more brightness to the color, the vividness to the color. It is a nice upgrade with the Dolby Vision. Now this is by far actually probably the best Netflix show I've watched in 4K. Especially 4K Dolby Vision. All the titles that I found in 4K Dolby Vision either have a ton of noise, like all the Marvel titles, and I'm not a fan of grain. I'm just not a fan of grain, and all this added grain after that just makes the screen so grainy, like there's mosquitoes all over. I just don't like that. And most Netflix shows I found have that. I don't mind that for films, but for TV shows, it's not the best in my opinion, and this show does not take that route. But I will give you a warning. In the first 10 minutes or so, it is nighttime, and there is grain, and I believe it's shot on film. I believe it's like the only scene. There's like some scenes, I believe, that are shot on film in here that you could tell that they're not digital. Do not get turned off at the first 10 minutes. The picture quality gets substantially better as the season goes on. Substantially better. Overall, guys, highly recommend this. Picture quality is impeccable. Dolby Vision looks great. The writing's great, cinematography is great. We got David Fincher on a TV show. It's everything I need. Anyway, guys, let me know if you liked this video. Throw me a thumbs up if you did. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe down below for more content, and have a good night, guys.